Okay. Well, I'm back. I know I said I'd be back yesterday. Story of my life. But I've set up the better webcam. So hopefully everything is easier to see. And yes, I cheated and I did do stuff off cam. Um because when my alarm went off and I closed the stream, I stayed in here for like another 3 hours. So that thing I'd said about being really strict with myself, total cope. Um yeah, I'm gonna have to sort that out, really. That's not cool of me. So, right, let me pull up my reference image I was using yesterday. Um, Probably this one, right? Yeah, it was. Okay. Alright. Let's see where I'm at. Really? It gets confusing. Because... Okay. Should be able to make something of that, in fairness. If I were to shave a bunch of this down. I'm inclined to kind of wing it, which should come as a surprise to no one. I do have work today, so I actually will have to leave for real. It's a vaguely sensible point. So, actually had my hand forced on it. But I think I can make this work. I leave a bunch of this down. So, what I'm inclined to do is take a bunch away. A load of these bits. Probably lower. This middle needs to be higher. I think probably that thing. Bother me. Because I can trim it down. Oh well. This might be the way to do things, to be honest. Funny, 'cause it's been so hot the last couple of days. The play is actually fairly easy to smush. I do have a fan running in the background, so, Let's see. Yeah, I reckon looking at my reference, take this down. still have to faff with it. Main thing, trying to create those levels. So I think it can still come down a bit. Do this bit first. Then I'll work on the bits up from that. Definitely better. There'd be a lot of kind of just making it up. I don't mind that. And I'm a lot more chill this morning than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I don't know what it was. I was not okay. I don't know. I guess I just got a lot going on. But it's fine. The whole purpose of streaming was to, and I know I keep saying it, but it's not to play a character, you know. Oh hey, how's it going? I have been okay. It's been a bit of a weird one for me, I'll be honest. I have quit my day job because I wasn't getting enough time to do stuff like this, and I was in a really awful headspace. So yeah, been a little bit intense, gotta be honest. But I firmly believe it's the right thing to do. It's gonna be a little bit intense. I'm basically planning to do this full time. That's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, this will seems better. Still kind of wonky, so I'll mess with it. But better than it was. Probably make it better. Sorry to hear. Hope you'll feel better. Yeah, I should. I should. It's one of those. I know a bunch of people do the same. It's one of those you just kind of put your own needs at the bottom of the pile. You know, I've always been super guilty of kind of, I'll tell other people, you should always prioritize yourself, etc. But I'm the last one to do that. So, you know, that's just one of those. But I'm doing it now. So, better late than never, you know? Yeah. Yeah. How have you been? What have you been up to? Good to take care of yourself? Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. It's super important. As I say, I'll always tell other people to do it, and then I am the last one to do it myself. Okay, there's a lot of family stuff going on. Not feeling too good. So I'm hanging in here. Okay, fair enough. More than fair. Family stuff is always tricky because people always say to you, "Ah, that's just families. It's normal." Yeah, okay. Doesn't mean it feels any better, you know. So I'm always very sympathetic. Is this your Zelda thing or something else? This is something else. Um, I thought I'd give myself like a mini project. And I say mini because it's like mini in my terms, because I'm mental. But I thought I would make a glass dagger from Skyrim for no particular reason other than I fancied doing it. Nice, thanks. Plan is to use it as an excuse to test. I've got some new resin I've not used before, which is it's called glass cast, and it's supposed to be like glass in that it's sort of a crystal clear resin. So I thought that would be a good excuse to test it. Try it on the blade of this thing. See what happens. Quietly hopeful it'll end up looking kind of cool. How did the mask turn out? Ah, the mask was great. Let me uh let me see. I don't have it out here with me, but I know I have a video that I took of it. So I wonder if it'll show up on camera. Cause so yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty good. It looks good. Thank you. I was very pleased with it. Very, very pleased indeed. My plan is to wear it when I go to Comic Con in October, so that'll be good. Move my mic down slightly because I feel like I'm too loud. So I hope that's still at a decent enough level. Where's the con? London. It will be the XL Centre in London. So yeah, that should be quite a lot of fun. I usually go to the May and October cons in London, but decided I wouldn't this year because I need to save the money really. But it also gives me a lot longer to do cosplay stuff, which was realistically the main reason. in my typical fashion, motivated by cosplay. Yeah, but it's good. It gives me something to work toward. Still need to take quite a lot of this. Uh, it was really nice to see you. Thanks, and you. Not feeling so good, so I'm gonna try and take a nap. Might be back later. Hope you have fun. Hey, you do you. I'll be here till I have to run away for work. So totally fine if you're still asleep when I go. Don't even worry about it. I'll catch you again at some point anyway. So all good. Take it easy. I'll just be doing a lot of this for a while anyway. So pretty chill on my end. Yeah, see you around. Getting just a lot of being very fussy, which is fine. That's what I'm good at. This is looking better. That feels a lot better. I am a lot happier with that. And that's the thing with me. I tend to find that I get frustrated and leave it when I come back. What I was bothered by is suddenly obvious. It's like the whole if you're painting, you should fairly constantly take breaks, come back and look at it fresh. Because you'll pretty much always suddenly see what was wrong with it. Okay, let me bring up my reference again. Okay. Middle bit is gonna really suck. Jeez. Gotta think about a smart way of doing that. Have to think on it. Now see if I can try and do this side in the same way as I've done that one. Angling it is going to be interesting, though. Let's take this down first. We want to reckon it at the same time. Not really the end. Probably the best way I could approach this. Starting off with more and shaving it down. So I can kind of see what I'm doing. Like it's making sense now. See what it needs. This definitely. Where it gets kind of sorting out. Take this through here. Fixes some of that. That's my paintbrush. The annoying little flaky bits. Definitely need to along here. It's actually pretty chill. I am okay with this. I was having a think about why I was so antsy yesterday. And mulling it over, it almost always ends up being because I feel like I'm wasting my time. And kind of had to break away, do some other stuff, and then I felt better. It's one of those things. I think because I had it ingrained into me from a pretty young age that stuff like this was just messing around. It was. It wasn't something that was financially viable, I suppose. So it didn't have inherent value. I never agreed with that. But when you grow up with that kind of rhetoric, you can't help feeling certain ways about things. And it's something that I'm going to need to work on because I care about stuff like this. I care a whole bunch about stuff like this. And I don't think that things need to be. I don't want to say financially viable because it can be. But I think can be. Things can exist beyond, I suppose, what would be considered mainstream professions and still be valuable. No, it's a pretty whack take to not think that this is valuable. And as I say, it's not really my opinion, but it's something that I have to recognize when it crops up as being an unfortunate side effect of an interesting upbringing. I think it's going to become more prevalent now that I'm going to be relying on stuff like this. And I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not in the situations I used to be. My current situation is very, very different because I'm not living with my parents anymore. So their belief system does not have to be mine. It's overcoming that mental hurdle, I suppose. Because my grandparents are supremely supportive. Like, they're totally fine. It's always been one of those things. No one else is able to stop me. It's only ever me. I know me. I know that I will absolutely make this viable. Because I'm too stubborn not to. Give me a point to prove and I'm there, you know? it'll be fine. It's just getting over the mental aspects, I suppose, and learning to recognize that I'm frustrated for reasons that aren't necessarily real, you know. And I'm sorry to get kind of deep with it for a second, but it's back to what I was saying about trying to show, like, because so often all we'll see is the end product of something, and you won't see all the difficulties that came along with getting to that point. So when you try stuff for yourself, it's very easy to end up disheartened, thinking, why do I feel this way? Why is this so difficult? Everyone else seems to manage just fine. Nah, absolutely not. So, not the case. Not by a long shot. Quite like that side. I think this needs to come down a bit. I'm gonna keep the levels kind of similar though. It's definitely getting a lot better. And I knew it would. I'm just impatient. I've never been one to be able to withstand that kind of ugly duckling stage of a project. I just look at it and go, no, I hate it. Okay, well, give it a minute. And start actually working on things, and it's, oh, actually, you know what? This isn't so bad. Shocker. Who could have predicted this? Certainly not me. That's typical of me. I want things to be perfect straight away. Always been like that. If I try something and I'm not immediately good at it, then I'm not interested. What's taking me so long to get into things like 3D printing means learning something. I'll be bothered. I want to be good at it straight away. Does it matter whether that's a vaguely feasible stance or not? Spoilers, it isn't. That's a lot better. Have to consider the levels. This middle going to be the next thing. keep forgetting what day it is today. My work schedule's so weird. I keep thinking it's a Monday. No. Thursday. Middle bits. That's where it gets weird, because it's kind of... That does connect to that, but then it goes... So actually, got these side bits, they're kind of connected with this. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult to see what I'm doing. It'd be easier if I knew where all of this at. That is sort of there. That's where that comes in. And maybe it's worth giving it at least attempting. I kind of can't see anything. Alright, try that again. Probably going to be easier if I actually cut the whole ruddy thing out. You know. Let's see. I can just... past that, which is good. At least I can see this now. See where this comes, I think. And like that. Wondering if I've got anything... any straight wire or something. A wire wood. The off chance. Don't expect there's gonna be anything, but it's worth having a look. Unless, well, this, but it's not straight. At least the very end isn't straight. Do I have anything that is? Maybe I use the edge of this. I can get some idea about center line. Okay, at least now I have half an idea. Better than nothing. But a metal ruler, actually, that'd work. Now that I know roughly where I'm going with it, that's come down to about there as well, so... Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Because at least I get half an idea by doing that. I wanted to be smart about it. So I could just follow up carefully, dampen it along here. I'm not super pressed if it's kind of a mess at the minute, because I'm going to be messing around with that anyway, so it's kind of whatever, to be honest. That's fine enough. The center line, that's all I really needed for that, so that is okay. Now, this is where it gets tricky. That's the very outer edge. And there's that, and then there is this here that is part of this, and then also not part of this. This gets confusing. Because this slopes off into this gap in here. This is why I'm inclined to say be wary of the fact that there is foam under here. That's fine. That means that I can't theoretically make it hideously uneven. Theoretically. I keep forgetting to take pictures of stuff as I go. Not that it matters for this, but I like to do it anyway. Never know. Realistically, I've always taken pictures of stuff as I go, just because I enjoy having stuff to look back on. Competition considerations. It's a very, very recent thing. Okay. Let's try to get this integrated into all of this. Should be fine. That's definitely a lot better than it was. Try and do the thing on this side. I need to get accustomed to starting on my less dominant side, so I can match it up on the side I'm good at. Because this is the side I've been able to do better. Really. Need to roll with the limitations of the side I'm less good with. this. Not mean to bat the camera. Maybe pretty precarious setup. Just balanced on a couple of containers and taped on top. Because, ultimately I'm still myself. So it's never going to be a particularly sensible setup. Just wouldn't be in character. Better, closer, warmer. And match it up on this side. Where I'm at with this. Okay. I am going to BRB real quick. And then I will be back. So bear with. Alright, I'm back. Just went to get more water. Right. Let's see. Let me pull my reference back up again. This one. Okay. One side is considerably flatter than the other. That's the only thing. It's this side. Shockingly. Lesser dominant side. Whoever could have guessed. Let me try and fix a little bit. Should be able to fix this. Should. Okay. I'm getting progressively more okay with how this is going. Or I've even put all of the actual extra into this, so right. Getting better. Yeah. Fix this a little. This is the part where I get super obsessive over things that don't matter. So you'll have to bear with me. And see that that's uneven. Certain lights. Now, the trouble with everything being kinda warm and malleable, when it comes to carving stuff, actually makes things a little more difficult. Easier to carve once it's been in the fridge, which is a tempting course of action when I do have to duck out to go to work. It'll be much easier to put bits on. That uniform action. And then I can see exactly where the high points are. Danger is getting closer and closer to the foam in the middle. Not crazy stoked on that, to be honest. Rather that wasn't a thing. Ultimately, I still prefer this side, which isn't surprising particularly. Just whether I end up building it up again to shear it back. Which is tempting, but do I need to? Yeah, I'm gonna. Gonna, because I like this side, so sod it. To bite the bullet and say, you know what, I like this side more, so let's just make it like that side. That is my do this bit. At least I'm not having to heat gun anything this morning. Objectively a plus. It's better. This needs to be part of this. This is its own thing. To be connected. Here. mean about the dominant side thing. Started on this side, I could have matched it. But now I've decided I like the other side better because it's the side I work on better. So I'm having to mess around getting it to fit with that. Which is, annoying, but thought I just made this side look slightly more reasonable. I'd be okay with matching it up with the other one, but no, I like this side too much. I have elected to suffer, which is of no surprise. Not really. It's better. Wondering. I go to this other side and smooth bits off. Just check that it's vaguely even. At the very least, not a disgusting, wonky mess. As I say, I got a texture this anyway, so realistically, it's not that bad. As long as I have the lines in it that I want to have. I think. Yeah. They're gonna make me fill this in. A Snapchat. Oh, yeah. From exactly who I thought it would be. Only one friend who'd Snapchat me at 3 in the morning. So also happens to be the friend that offered me a lift to work today. And I'm thinking, maybe, depending on how engrossed in this I am, maybe. How am I gonna texture this? What am I gonna use? It's got kind of a slightly crinkled look to it. Then I also like the idea of polishing it within an inch of its life when it's actually done. Maybe, I don't know. I think they're more about accuracy, which isn't particularly shocking. That's better. Match that to this side. Let's see. Let's see what happens. See what I can do with this. So what do I want to do here? Take this down fairly substantially. Oh, hey. How's it going? You good? I hope you've not been here long, 'cause I've only just seen this. Nope, haha. Yeah. Yeah, you don't say. You don't say. Well, I'm chilling, proverbially. Less so physically, but then I do have a fan on in the background, so no, I'm not that phased, things considered. How lumpy that is gonna bother me. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking it is, actually. It is a little bit bad, but maybe it won't matter. For whatever reason, body decided panic attack, wake up at midnight, then became aware of how warm it is. Eesh. Alright, well, this morning's gonna be fun for us, isn't it? Can't wait to see what I wind up walking into today. At least you're only on a half day. Oh, yeah. Only on a half day today. Gonna have to wake up at 3 tomorrow. Oh, jeez. So I might just firm it and stay up. Or you could do what I do and go to bed very early and then be completely fine. It's an option. Had a nap like 4:30, 5:30. Then was asleep by 9, so not doing too bad. Yeah, suppose it's not too bad. Fortunately, I have the aircon in my room. The requirement that is. So I managed to sleep fine, actually. just fine. Yeah, I don't. Do have a regular fan though, which is better than nothing. Yeah, definitely is. Definitely is. I don't think many people in the UK their own aircon units in their bedrooms. To be fair, not not typically the climate for it, but you know, medical problems and what have you. This thing you're making is so cool, knife thing. Ah, thanks. It's going to be a glass dagger from Skyrim, and I've got some resin that's supposed to cure like crystal clear. So I'm gonna test it. Probably end up getting aircon when you get your own place. Overheating all the time. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely recommend it. But then I wouldn't physically be able to exist without it. So, you know, have a bit of a bias. So you're making this to then make a mold to cast it in resin. Yes, that is the plan. That is the plan. And I'm planning to do the blade and the hilt separately so that I can cast them in two different kinds of materials. Very swag. Thanks. I can't believe you're getting me to say very swag. Jeez. The age difference thing again. You kids and your swags and your riz. And your Doja Cats. And your Ariana Grandes. I wish I could do this kind of stuff, but the ideas just like never leave my brain. That's fair enough. I'm gonna say swish, not swag, but that's not much better. It's better, I'd say. To be honest, I just said swish was better than swag, personally. uh, yeah, I spend a very long time doing stuff like this, though. Not a quick process. I'm too fussy about it. Today's gonna be fun. Oh yeah. Look, you're on a half day, man. Relax. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I have to deal with various. Plus the shift lead assimilation thing. I will eventually get rid of that bot. It's on my to-do list. Oh yeah, antibiotics. Jeez, you really can't catch a break, huh? You missed yours yesterday, bruh. Not your year. Uh, yeah, no. Objectively, thus far, I think that is a fair assertion. That's foam under there. That explains it. Okay. Let me put this back on here. I think what I'll end up doing is where's the one tool that I want? This one. I think what I'll end up doing is giving this a hammered texture. I think that'll look kind of fit the original. think that's how I'm gonna play this. Needed to go to the teeth, people. That's a very 3 a.m. sentence. If I'm being objective about it. Don't hit me with a smiley at the end of that. Makes it worse. Horrifying. SCP shit. SCP-230, the tooth people. Get it? 230, like tooth 30. I feel the need to explain these things to you because you probably won't get them otherwise. It wouldn't let me send another smiley because it was identical. Rude. Yes, probably. Probably rude, but also, where's the lie? Yeah, I think I will give this a hammered texture. It look pretty cool. I might take you up on a lift this morning. I wasn't gonna, and then I thought, well, if I do, it means I can be out here for longer. So, you know. And the weather's too warm. I got up this morning and was like, cool, I'll go to the gym. And then it was hot. As soon as I opened my bedroom door, I was hit with like a wall of heat. And I thought, that is a terrible idea. It was kind of funny on Tuesday and gave me environmentals to do. And Amy laughed at me, and then she was put on the environmentals yesterday. Hey, get wrecked. But yeah, I can pick you up. Thanks. That is pretty epic and cool of you, objectively. Fill this back in, because that's clearly where the foam is. So, I need to fix this. It's the benefit of having a core. Know when I'm going shallow with it. I was wondering if it was worth me getting up earlier to get in early, so the first plate isn't delayed. Well, it's difficult, because it's at your discretion. If you want to do that and we go contend with the substrate, then okay. Like, I'm fine with it, but also, objectively, it is not our problem. If these things can't be done without us having to put in overtime first thing in the morning, then there's a problem, you know? So, realistically, that's my take. The whole time we make things work, nothing's going to change. We're making things work off our own backs. So, then that's just not it, you know? Yeah, exactly. No one else would go in early for it. No. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. And when I'm gone, earlies are going to be really quite interesting for everyone involved. And I do feel pretty crappy about that. I really do. Especially for Dan and Aaron. So I'd cover the early aspects. I'm scared for when you're gone. I wouldn't use the term scared. I'd be scared, but it's definitely going to be noticeable, I'd imagine. Carlos and Assad will get less grief, so it'll be noticeable for them as well. But I'll start off thinking it's a good thing, and then eventually they'll be hit with everything that I was contending with that they weren't. Then they'll go, oh no, actually, maybe this isn't such a good thing. So, we'll see. Well, I mean, I won't see, but don't be scared, but it's going to be noticeable, yes. Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is, and there's a fairly strong probability that Assad is going to end up down there with you guys. Because, team lead things. Probably shouldn't go back to sleep. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't bother because you'll probably end up going back to sleep, and then best case scenario is you've got an alarm that wakes you up again and you feel gross. Worst case scenario is you don't wake up to various alarms and then we're both late. So, I'd say at this point you just commit to being awake. No one else is ready for the shift lead position right now? No. I mean, there are people I would consider, but it's too sudden, really. And considering I've been chasing Zard and Carlos every single week for the past couple of months for progression criteria, I don't think anyone really knows what they should be doing to reach that point anyway. So, and that's no one's fault in the lab. That's just the usual suspects, really. But, yeah, woke up feeling pretty good. A little sleepy now, but 50 times sleepy if I let myself snooze. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. There's always a temptation, but you know that you will inevitably end up feeling much worse. That's just the nature of these things. So, at least you're not alone in being awake at this time. So, that's a plus. At least you've got someone to keep you vaguely entertained, or at least keep your brain engaged to some extent. Yeah, because it's fine on that side, that. I remember. I can't physically go any lower than that. No guarantee I won't just keep waking up every half hour. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. Is that if you're aware that you have to get up as well, I know for me that always wakes me up every 20 minutes or so. If I'm worried about oversleeping. Does help inspiring for me to actually get some stuff done, like your personal statement. That thing. That thing that you said you were gonna do, and then, you know. Okay, well, tell you what, get on it. How much of it have you done? How far through are you? Because as far as writing things, I happen to be fairly good at it. Just ask Carlos. I like to think he has little anxiety nightmares about my emails. Writing is not my strongest suit. Well, I am not going to write it for you because it's a personal statement, but I can definitely proof it for you and give you tips. But you're going to need to get it to me in good enough time that I can provide that feedback. So, there's your incentive. True, true. Mm-hmm. We can both be up and working on stuff together. Body doubling. That thing that is actually obscenely helpful. Okay, I'll be back. Nice. Let's go. Do it. Always down for body doubling. I want to do that down to that point, or I want it to end slightly higher. Does it matter? Matter. I think I do want it. Let's say I do. Let's say I do, and add a little bit on here. definitely feeling way better this morning than I was yesterday. I don't know why. Maybe because this morning feels like I'm making more progress. I'm just generally happier with the thing. Maybe that's all it is. Knowing me, probably all it is. This bit on here. It's gonna be so hot today. So not ready for it. That time of year that I absolutely dread. Still needs to be built up along here a bit. Definitely does. Okay. Enough. I can do that. Even need a bit that big. Make a chunk off. It's all the way along. Actually, probably gonna want something that. Right. Let's do that. If I have to shave it down after the fact, realistically, no biggie. If there's not. Evens that bit little. Almost definitely going to have to finesse this, but I'm not phased. At least I'll have thing here. Bring this down here. This is what I mean when I say these are like small projects for me, but also it's me, so I make it complicated. Hello, I'm back. Aha. Hi, back. I'm not even gonna go. Can't be asked with dad jokes at 3:30 in the morning. It's only like the spell it out thing that I did the other day. That was very funny though. Understandable? Yeah. Oh, my back. I gotta stop leaning over things like a goblin. Jeez. I wish I wasn't awake. It's so early. Yeah, sure is. Sure is. I'm just trying to get back into the routine of getting up at the same time. I'm trying to do so ahead of next week because I want to be back in the gym on Monday. I've been gone for a very long time. And I hate that. I don't know how you do it. That's what you get used to, innit? Honest. Getting cold next week, highs of 11. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Back to livable temperatures. That's very reassuring. I actually need to see what the weather's doing this Sunday because I've got D&D with the boys. I'm probably gonna die. Not for me. 29 UV index 13. Look, if you will go on holiday to these places, then you will suck it up, Buttercup. I didn't ask for warm weather, you know. At no point did I desire warm weather. Something in this gap in here. That is too much gap. I think I can fit some of this in here. Need to update my CV. Oh no. Oh yeah. Fortunately, I've been doing that literally every single time I've changed position. So do it down this whole thing. Not quite. Let's say I did this. What does this give me? Yeah, it seems pretty good actually. I'll do that. Oh, where's the one I want? It is this one. You need to submit. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't need to do your CV along with a personal statement, right? It's been a while. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. It's, school and stuff. You need to submit both. Oh, great. Sent these to myself on Discord. I don't know what the most recent version is. Okay, great. Applying for a master's is like a job, not like undergrad. Ah, okay. Well, lucky it's a half day then. Because good grief. I was reading through the info you sent in Discord, and it's got in there, don't leave this till the last minute. And I thought, yaha. That's better. I'm more okay with this now. Aren't they sitting on the same level of anxiety I used to get from leaving uni coursework to the night before and pulling an all-nighter? Yeah. Same difference, isn't it? Same difference. Absolutely the same difference. Well, it's as I say, if you get stuff done in good enough time, I can go through things. So, no. Because writing happens to be my strong suit. If you want to use my expertise, get thine shit together. Let's fix all of this. Much more okay with this now. Actually has quite a lot of potential. I'm pretty okay with it so far. Not as even as I'd like. This side is, but this side isn't. Definitely appreciate a look over my CV as well. Yeah, you know, when I told my mates that I was quitting my job, they'd said, "Oh, if you need anyone to look over your CV," and then they said, "Actually, never mind. You were the one that looked over ours." So I said, "Yeah, appreciate it, but as you say, yeah, yeah, it's just been such a long time, you know." I said, I appreciate the sentiment, but yeah, it's always the way that worked. Where'd that brush go? It's feels better. Also, with my holiday, 2 hours behind, and the day after I get back, I'll be working early. Oh no. Yo. Oh, that's really something. uh, cool. Have fun with that one. Jeez. That's the thing. I've never been super worried about like time zones because my hours are so weird anyway. It's probably just gonna work out fine. Also, that day I gotta go get tooth filled. Oof, great. Oh, you're really just super set there. nothing but a good time. German Christmas. Right, I'm gonna BRB real quick. So bear with me. Right, I am back. I had to go get my water, and then my nan was up, so said hi. I've torn my gloves again. Hello back. Oh, ha ha. We're doing this now, are we? Very funny. I see how it is. Play me at my own game, why don't you? Right. What was I? It's still a little bit iffy in places. Not that bothered though, grand scheme of things. Is it gonna matter that much? I'm probably going to aggressively sound the final thing anyway. Sent me a screenshot. Okay. Let me see. Do I have I don't think I have a copy of mine that I can show you. Unless hmm. Uh, 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 I mean that what you've got there is fine. But that bit, that's fine. But I'd say don't get too hung up on the CV aspect because the personal statement is very important. Because at least you have a CV. So even if it's kind of not the best, it exists. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd say definitely be prioritizing at the minute. That's kind of the only way to play it. So now I want to start looking at this. A minute, it's a wonky mess. Fine, because I know it would be. I need to finish the tip of the blade first. Got a bit on the sides. They look pretty much okay. Now I can integrate the tip into that edge, then actually it might be okay. Let's see if I can do that. Cut down a lot of this. A lot. How long have I been going for? A couple hours? Okay. That's not too bad. Not really. Slight. Slightly. Clean that bit up. The easiest way to get probably I can at least hear this down most part. I can finesse it after the fact. Resist the urge. Make it too pointy. Although there is a kind of a center line to it, so maybe I can get away with that. Kind of. Fix this real quick. Once again, I've got the issue of having bits cling to it because it's annoying. I think I'm falling for that trap of trying to get it to slope where it doesn't actually slope. So I need to catch myself and not do that. So I need to do it this way. This. Make it smooth. Well, yeah, but I've got to make it accurate. That's the bit that's bothering me. Because it's like, yeah, I could make a really pretty thing here, but also it's not actually like what I'm going for, so what's the point? Got to curb my desire to make things nice. Ah. If you want to see the reference I'm going off of, let me pop it in Discord real quick. That's what it'll end up being. At the minute, I'm trying to refrain from making it too pointed, because it's not. It's really flat along the top. So, very nice. It should be. By the time I'm done with it, it should be. Intricate, yes. Always. I wouldn't be interested if it wasn't some kind of intricate. Where am I life at this point? I think I approach it like this. Yeah, that does. It's more of like an extra line than actual slope. Mostly quite flat. That's better. Still a discernible difference in these. There is a notable divide. That is then more than okay enough. Totally okay with that. That center line is pretty tasty also. And I'm inclined to say I go at it with this. Similar sort of lightly hammered effect. Eventually. Now if I can at least see what I'm doing, I can texture it after the fact. Fix that in a minute. Not with this. That's the next thing to consider. How to sort this bit. It is just kind of down at an angle. Simply these. The point of this is that it's kind of on the same level all the way along. think I could pull what's just happened with my dad into my personal statement? Um, it depends on the relevance, I suppose. If you're gonna spin it as a, this happened and that's why I'm interested in this field because, I'd like to be able to prevent this, then yes, I think you can do that. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think that that is feasible as long as you evidence like capability, I suppose. So it's not just like, I'm interested in this because I feel very strongly about it. Cool. But are you qualified though? Yeah. Yes. As long as you have that also, then I do think that that is a thing that is doable. A little bit back into there, I think. Okay, better. Gotta fix this side first. I need to fill that gap. That's gonna help. And access to online materials 2 weeks before the course starts to help prep. Okay, cool. That is good. That is definitely good. But not quite enough. A little bit more. better, but still not quite. Stretch my back. Jeez. Gotta think at what time I should dip out. Because I gotta eat something, have a shower, yada yada. Little information about these modules available. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. An alarm set for 5 for you to get ready. Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna have to go slightly before then. Make sure I am ready for sure. What sort of time do you think you'd get to mine? Six, 10. Cool. Alright. Fine. That is fine. In which case, if you're gonna dip at 5, I can also get away with dipping at 5. That actually is fine. Better fill in this little patch in here. I think it's mostly X. It does need to be much as I don't think it should be. That is how it is. Tend bow. This still needs to be added back in fairness. How this ended up. That's nice. That center line is more or less fine. As long as everything stays flat. Which, in fairness, this doesn't look too far off being. Away. Not want. Actually, maybe not. This was the one for my undergrad. Okay. Here we go. Found my post uni. Okay. Progress. I know this one. This is the one. I'm gonna try and get the same sort of angle. Uh, that's how I'm gonna be able to do this. Angles on that are good. Nope, that's too steep. Is it? Might be wrong actually. In a bit. Slightly less. Yeah. That's it's kind of like that. Not bad. Try and match it up on the other side. That's the thing. Minute, this looks a little bit wonky. Try and flatten this out. Oh, okay. Well, if you've got stuff you can use, then good. That's going to be a massive plus. Only 1,500 words. Don't remember. Because the guidelines you sent, I remember 600 being in there somewhere. I don't know whether that was a minimum of 600. I remember not. Ah, that was it. Okay. Limit 400 to 600. Got it, got it, got it. I see. Application just says at least 250. Oh, okay. Don't want to make it too long. Um, hmm. Well, if you go off of the upper limit idea, then just see what you come up with, and then if you have to cut it down, then meh, okay. We're a microbiology division. Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yes, we are. Oh, I say we. Currently. Not for much longer, baby. You excited to leave? Yes, definitely. I'm stretching my back out. Oish. Yeah, excited to leave. It's just all the unknowns from that point on. That's where it's kind of like, yeah, like definitely glad to not have to contend with that anymore. But also not entirely sure how to how to start, I guess. But then I suppose technically I have started with what I want to be doing. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. It's like good, but also fairly sweaty, you know. Like I'm glad to be doing it, definitely, 110%. What are you wanting to do after? Well, basically, the plan is, and I use plan in the loosest of terms, but the plan is to throw everything at the wall and demand something sticks. So I'm basically looking to do keep streaming stuff, um, keep making stuff, but also have a real onus on selling stuff. Probably do commissions, but also run like a bunch of courses, teach people how to do stuff. So have stalls at fairs and events, etc. So yeah, it's it's very much a throw everything out into the universe sort of deal. That's cool. Yeah, if it, if it goes somewhere, then yes, it'll be fine. It will definitely be fine. I'm just very sweaty over it currently. That's all. Cool. I'll make it work. I don't doubt that side of things. Just knowing where to take it, I suppose. Actually comes up kind of high into here. Hmm? Yeah. Have to add bits in. I'm not super pressed over it, in fairness. Shouldn't matter a whole bunch. That doesn't look too bad. Not particularly against that. Might change my mind, but for now. Out of interest. Actually, no, it does kind of end up lining up. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Enough. Say I'll trust the judgment more, but that's a lie. Bad. Not bad. Where's this one? I was thinking of. For me, not quite even. Not tiny bit. Just along the edge. I think that'll fix it. Better, closer, warmer. What does GDP stand for? Yeah, you realize that's fine. That's fine. I love how you don't know immediately. That says a lot. Says a lot about me because I do know immediately. Not something that I'm proud of objectively. Even 5 a.m. the birds are still asleep. Leave me alone. Hey, look, I was going after me on that one. All right, not you. I was disappointed in myself for knowing that. True. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. It really does have that effect. Yes. Comes a point where you're just like, ugh. Did Dan manage to write you something? I know he said he was gonna. Hasn't sent me anything yet. That's fine. Did he get it to me by Thursday? So there's still time, and I trust him. Yeah, he's solid. Though he doesn't have my email. Okay. Does he have other contacts of yours? Probably message him later with my personal email. Yeah, I would. I would. That would be the sensible play. WhatsApp, yeah. Yeah. I figured WhatsApp is probably the only thing that he does have for you. Wonder who's going to write my reference, lol. Robbie Carlos. That's going to be interesting. I think they're not allowed to write bad ones anyway. So. In fairness, I don't think he would. I think he'd like to, but I don't think he would. I'm sure it would be nice. Yeah, they can't. Yeah. I always wondered what the point was in references. Because, you know, you can't write anything that isn't nice anyway, so, like, why trust it, you know? It's always my tank. My reference from my tutor Loki seems so pointless. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, why bother, really? Half tempted to make up this edge slightly so I can angle it. But then, is there a need to fap to that extent? Not really. I don't think so. Might be better just not messing around with it. Why bother is one of the many questions I ask myself every day. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's an awful lot of that. But for something like a master's application, yeah, you know what? I can see why you'd bother. You know, true. Yeah. Do want to add a tiny bit along that edge because it doesn't quite play out the same on both sides. So, around here. Makes it slightly better. Take away a little bit of this. I'm still tempted to build this edge back up. Unless Unless I was smart about it. It's gonna want a discernible something. I put an edge in there. Followed it round with something close. Then I'd know exactly where the edge was. So that I'll add to my to-do list because I've still not even messed with this center mid part yet. That's the thing I need to do before I get too invested in other bits and pieces. Good grief, forgotten that existed. This is the fairly interesting bit. I need to try and keep as flat and straight as I possibly can. For the minute, it ain't that. It's hopefully slightly better. I can just go along and shave bits off. Words have stopped looking like words. I can't help you. It's just one of those things. I can read what you write, but I can't help you actually do the thing. Not least because none of it is my subject area. So, means very little to me, objectively. That is help. Oh, yes, okay. You should understand enough of it. Okay. Well, it's getting on for the time you said you'd have to dip to get ready anyway. So, if words aren't looking like words, it might be a sign. 757. Okay. Okay, that's pretty sound. Oh no, don't say that. Nothing written down about why the location of choice. Ah. Ah, yes. Yes, you do. Well, that is indeed a thing. Sent it to you. I've got so far. Okay, I will have a look. I'm gonna have to pack this up in a sec anyway. Go and actually get ready to leave at some point this morning. Brain this out. Eat proper food because antibiotics. Yes, yeah, that is true. That is a thing. Enough. Well, I'll catch you in a bit anyway. So that is fine. A-O fine. You little shavings. Annoying. Ought to not have this bumpy and curvy and annoying. I'm trying to think whether I'd be better off slicing it with something. I can just kind of I'm gonna have to duck out soon anyway. So it is what it is. For now at least. Yeah. I can kind of see where the problem areas are when I do it like that. I definitely will have to duck out to go and get ready. Yeah. At least I've got this mostly done. Really. I need to not have these annoying little flakes end up on things. Better than it was. Fairness. I have to tidy that up again, but whatever. It's by the by. That's then significantly lower than that side. I'll have to build up again. Okay, go now. Thanks for helping so far. See you in an hour. Yep. No worries. I am also imminently outie. I just want to put this in place so I at least remember that it's a thing I need to fix. And then I need to go and get myself ready. Yeah, catch you in a bit. In a bit. At least be able to put this in place. Okay, I think that pretty much fixes that side of things. Pretty much. Light bit in here. Swear I'm gonna fix this then leave. Just know myself, I know I'll forget what needs what if I don't. There's a tiny little dip in here. Past that, I think pretty much. I think that's then good enough for me to leave on. Now, I need to mess with the specifics of this kind of middle bit and also this bit up here. But not a bad place to leave off. I will keep fiddling with stuff if I don't just walk away, so I'm going to walk away. But I will come back and I will work on more, but that's kind of hard to see an awful lot, but you can kind of see. That's where I'm at currently. So yeah, I will continue working on this. Probably the next couple of mornings, to be fair. So probably tomorrow and probably also Saturday. So yeah. For now, that is going to be it. I have to run and go and get ready and blah blah blah. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Laters.